Hey, what's up? John Halaban here. Today is Sunday, and I don't know what exactly this place is. I think that we're in Burger King. It's located in Sicario.
What's this name?
I think
Vivo Place. They call it the
Yeah,
Vivo
Vivo
Place.
Place.
Yeah.
So, guys, we're inviting you to come over here and join us. So, today, what we're going to do is we're going to discuss things like why we're learning Japanese because my friends here, Marco and Kirk, um, they've been learning Japanese, but I'm not quite sure with Kirk. I'm pretty sure with Marco. So I'm gonna start with you, Kirk. Can you do a little bit of introduction about yourself?
I'm Kirk, and I'm a historian, plus I studied law as well. And I dive into a lot of topics, and one topic that interests me is Japanese culture, so I'm quite learning a little bit.
So there you go, guys. That's Kirk. He's a historian. You ask anything about history, so yeah, he can give you lots of details. And Marco, please introduce yourself.
My real name is Mike Rodriguez, but they call me Marco. So basically, that's my de facto name, Marco.
De facto.
Yeah.
Wow,
I'm
what a
known.
term.
I was known Marco, so okay, I'll adapt that as my name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Me, I help out in the family, but I plan to work English teacher
Uh-huh.
in Japanese, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, hopefully by next year I could go to Japan, work there, and yeah, try to see the culture. Japanese culture is very rich, and lots of history. And like Kirk, I'm also a fan of history, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, yeah. We've been talking a lot of things like the Yamato, Hokkaido.
Yeah.
You've been mentioning those things to me, and yeah, I didn't know, to be honest. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to visit those places because yeah, to tell you guys, I will start working in Japan next month. So I'm gonna be an English teacher there. It's one of the things that I want to do in Japan, to visit those places that Marco wants me to visit, right?
Yeah, in a way, yeah. But,
Can
but
you-
I'll be joining you. I'll be
Yes,
joining
yes,
you,
yes. Hopefully next year.
Yeah.
So, going back to the topic, what are the reasons why we're studying Japanese? Me personally, the reason why I've been studying Japanese is because, yeah, I want to have a third language I can speak. Of course, my mother tongue. By the way, what's our mother tongue?
Bisaya.
Bisaya, right?
Yep.
Is it a
Yeah.
language or?
It's a language.
It's not a language or dialect. I don't know.
Never call it a dialect. It's a taboo to call it a dialect.
Well,
Dialect is a
what makes you
variation
say
of a
it?
language. Tagalogs claim Bisaya is a dialect. They're claiming we're a dialect because we're minor, and that ain't true. Because we're not a variation of Tagalog, so therefore Bisaya is a language.
Okay, there goes our linguist.
Yeah. By the way, we're Cebuanos, and we speak Cebuano, we speak Tagalog, but we're not that really good in Tagalog. Me, I would say, yeah, I'm not that really good, especially the accent and the pronunciation. What about you guys? Do you consider yourself good in speaking Tagalog?
I'm not
rather
comfortable in
speaking
English. Yeah, same boat as him.
Yeah.
So yeah, our mother tongue is Cebuano or Bisaya, and Tagalog. Yeah, we do speak. I'm good at it, and of course English and yeah. My third language would be Japanese. I can speak a little, not fluent yet, but I can do conversational. So that's the initial reason why I've been studying Japanese. And the second reason is, yeah, I'm gonna go to Japan, so I need it for survival. I go to the supermarket because, as far as I know, not many Japanese people can communicate well in English. So at least I have the basics, so I can buy things like when I go to the supermarket, when I go to the bank, or yeah, what else? When I do a transaction with Japanese people. So Marco, what about you? What's your reason why?
No, we forgot. There's still a third reason why you want to learn Japanese. What is it?
I forgot something. No, I think I mentioned all the things
No,
already.
there's still one lacking. If I recall.
I think it's because of love, isn't it? love and romance. To be
Yes, yes, love of culture. Yes, I love
Are you
Japanese
sure it's
culture.
love of culture?
Yeah. I'm pretty honest. I'm 100% sure it is.
Is there a second paraphrase for it? A second phrase for that aside from culture?
Well, to be specific, I like East Asians. You know, they're cute and attractive. Not specific to like
also
the
North
Japanese.
Koreans.
Yes. I think North Koreans are cute.
Sweeney.
I've never been there.
Okay,
So,
turn to Kirk first. Come on.
so let's have Kirk. Let's ask him why he's been studying Japanese. But like I said earlier, I'm not quite sure if he's doing it right now.
I'm
Yeah, your
doing
Kansai
quite
stuff?
a little. I tried to learn a little Kansai, but I realized I should learn Kanto because Kanto is widely used in the whole island. So, yep, I'm learning Japanese because I'm studying history, and in order for me to understand more, I have to understand their language because in language you find their origins. Next is that I'm learning Japanese to find friends and possibly a lover, just like Harvin has a Japanese lover. So back to you, Mike.
Let me correct that. I don't have a Japanese lover.
Are you sure?
And he
No, I
tried to
don't
say
have.
lovers.
I don't have.
Lovers.
But I'm pretty sure this guy doesn't have one. Or there.
I have.
Oh yeah, I think he proposed, right?
Yes. I saw a video of you,
Yeah,
man,
he
proposing
proposed,
to a
man.
Japanese girl.
What's the name of that girl?
Um,
It starts with letter M. Oh my God, who's that girl? Who's that girl?
no, it's not true. It just looks like me, but it's not me. Okay, don't mistake that. So you could add a video there so that our
Oh,
audience
really?
could.
Yeah, I kept the video. You should, attach the link to it, right?
Yeah, but me and Marco are 100% that it was Kirk who proposed.
It exceeded 100%. If I
He
recall.
proposed randomly, and the Japanese girl said, "Say yes."
He actually said yes in the video. How can
Yeah.
he deny such a handsome guy? But it's not me.
But got rejected when the ring he presented was made of paper.
Fine.
Anyway, as far as I remember, you mentioned about learning Kansai. So Kansai is not really the standard Japanese.
Yeah.
So what makes you decide to learn Kansai instead of the standard Japanese? What's
Because,
with Kansai?
I think Kansai is way easier compared to Kanto.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I've been learning Japanese for 3 years now, but I don't really agree. Kansai is a bit difficult because you have this very strong accent, and
It depends on you.
that's my personal point of view. But why do you think Kansai is easier than the standard?
I'm just exploring Japanese stuff. Before, I'm not really that expert, so I thought it was the national language, but it's not. So now I'm learning Kanto.
Oh, you've been learning.
Yeah, I'm learning Kanto.
Can you do some sample for Kansai?
Kansai, sure. Nandieren.
What else?
That will be all.
That'll be all. Okay. Thank you very much, Kirk.
Okay.
It was interesting fact
It's my pleasure.
about you.
Yep.
Okay, so let's go to Marco. So Marco, what are the reasons, or what is the reason
Why learn
why you're
Japanese?
learning Japanese? I really admire you, man, because I've seen your post on Facebook, and you post about writing hiragana, katakana.
Well, it's just recent. I'm not that good. Basically, I'm still in the basics.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of the reasons why I want to learn because I heard you go to Japan. I mean, a lot of people don't speak English there, so you have to learn the
Yes,
secondary
very true.
language. And the second, also, it's also a bonus and challenging on your part to learn a new language. So, and yeah, I fell in love with Japan first when I watched this Japanese anime. And later on, history came up, and then started to read about history, and Japan included. I got to learn their culture, and I started to appreciate their culture. Yeah, in fact, Japan is is probably the number one country that I want to go. It's a dream country, so to speak. And speaking the language also allows you to communicate with the people there more effectively. And of course, from what I know from my Japanese friends and from you guys, when you speak the Nihongo or the Japanese language, the Japanese tends to converse with you more, so you get to know more people. So,
Yeah, right, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. I've been to Japan 3 times, and yeah, communicating with the local people using English language is a bit challenging. Like what I mentioned earlier, the percentage of people who speak English in there is quite minimal.
Yeah. Is that the police officer you asked?
Yes.
Where's this restaurant? And said,
Yeah. In fact, there was a situation.
Is that the one?
Yes, 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 yes. Walk, 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 walk. Stop, stop, and then walk, 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 walk. But they're very polite. They really try their best to help you, even if they barely speak English. But they're quite polite people. They're very willing to help you. In fact, I had a situation like I was lost in Tokyo, and then I asked a Japanese woman. I asked her where's the direction going to Asakusa, and what she did, she brought me to the place where I wanted to go. So yeah, she was pretty nice. And yeah, you mentioned you used to watch anime, and that anime inspired you to learn Japanese, right?
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, what anime it was?
Well, basically, the first anime that I watched was Gundam Wing, 1995. And, to be honest, I'm not really into fan of Gundam Wing. And there was Robotech. I don't know, when I started watching it because my friends told me it's a nice one, and I watched Robotech, which is the American adapter of Macross. So I was kind of interested. So I was into the mecha military anime thing. And later on, I started, like I mentioned earlier, I started to learn history, and Japanese history in particular. So I started watching the Samurai X, got to learn about this Tokugawa era, the Edo area, all those stuff. So it expanded my horizons. Then later on, I started watching slice of life animation. So this includes Through Tears, what else? Voice B, Muse romantic comedy, a whole bunch, a lot of them. And eventually, it was also 10 years ago. I started, it was a school
10 years ago.
Yeah, school project. We started with a novel thing. Some people talk about Gundam, but later on, because our students were into Japanese animation, and later on it evolved, and yeah. So I get to learn the names of Japanese actors and actresses from a friend. Then I started to watch Japanese films and dramas, because the reason why I watch it, because when you make the novel, which is the setting is in Hokkaido, Japan, we want to know. I mean, how do these Japanese interact? So we want our novel to be accurate as much as possible.
Wait, so let me just clarify. So basically, you're writing a novel?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, so and basically the novel it's something to do with high school life and a bit of college life in Japan. Basically, it's like
So basically, the plot is in Japan.
yes,
It's setting.
yeah, I think it's what city, Yubitsu, and
Yubitsu.
and the place you went there, Mexico. Yeah, so those are the places. So we do a lot of research. In fact, our 10 years of research is worth already more than 1 GB of data.
Wow.
So yeah, so this time we're now writing the first few pages.
That's really interesting, because you have never been to Japan, but the novel that you're currently writing, or you've been writing, the plot is in Japan. So how do you imagine like places like Yubitsu,
Well,
Mexico?
basically, the reason why I chose Hokkaido is that, first of all, I was inspired by this Japanese anime called Sakura Quest back in 2015. Now,
Sorry, man. I've never watched those animes that you mentioned.
yeah, although I'm not a fan of those, but because the reason why I watch this anime, technically these are not my kind of animes.
Okay.
But me and my friend watch this one because for the purposes of the writing. Then I also watch these Japanese dramas, which is never my cup of tea. But you got to learn, you got to know how they do these things so that we can write it effectively. So as going back to your question, yes, we've never been to Japan, but thankfully, thanks to Google, we got the Google Maps.
Okay.
So it's real time satellite imagery. They're using Chinese and French satellites. So I searched towns and used TripAdvisors and a lot of searches in the internet. And I heard this town called Yubitsu. This Yubitsu is known for its what do you call that? It's a small town in some prefecture in northern Hokkaido, just across the Kuril Islands. It is a very beautiful place there because the flowers there. I mean, the set is a small town, roughly less than 5,000 people, and there's a place that's famous for its flower fields.
Right, right.
Yeah, so it's really a small quiet town, and that's where when I saw the pictures, whoa, wait, this is the place, this setting I want to be. It's a small town, called small town girl, small town boy, and that's where the action takes place.
Wow.
So we took a page from Smallville, which is a famous backstory of Superman. So that's the setup. Then, of course, going to accuracy, like since we've never been to Yubitsu or to Japan, we used Google Maps. We visited sites related
was
to
enough?
Yubitsu. Not 100%. It's really different when you feel it. So what we do is we watch YouTube videos. Yeah, and of course you went to Hokkaido, although not necessarily Yubitsu, so that's why I asked you. So although it's a bit different, but at least we try to aim to be accurate as much as possible with the best available information we have.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so that's how we.
And I
started
do
novel.
hope those videos that I uploaded on YouTube helped you.
Yeah, in fact,
I do hope. I do hope.
we already have a character made up based from you. Yeah, you're a teacher. Yeah, don't worry. I'll send you the copy once it's done. Don't worry.
So do you have any timeline? When can you finish your novel?
Well, my target would be probably before end of the year.
End of the year.
Yeah, since most of the research has already been completed, we have tons of data already. So what's left is already the coordination, integrating all this stuff. In fact, last week I already write it in a yellow pad and on the basic outline of what the things that will happen in the story, and the rest is expanding it further. So yeah, hopefully it will be in PDF format and probably we're going to launch it and publish it via Amazon. Yeah. But I heard Kirk is also making a story novel.
yeah.
I'm interested in cross-checking. It's made was
Yes, please tell us about
Yeah.
your novel.
It's also
that
based
you've
in
been
Japan,
writing,
right?
Because as far as I remember, you told me you've been writing
Oh yeah, I
a
like
novel or novels.
But
I
the-
certainly had just a novel.
Just a novel.
Novel, yeah. It's like
Because I think you told me that was 2 years ago. Correct
No,
me
it's
if I'm
a
wrong.
year ago.
A year ago.
Yeah.
So please tell me about the novel because I think I'm part of it, right?
you are part of it.
Okay, please tell me more.
Yep, you're like the core of the story, So
I think that was not the thing that you said. You told me before that I was a dog in the story.
not just a dog,
Not
but
just
a
a dog.
man's best friend.
Okay, continue, man.
Okay, here's what happened here. I met this Japanese girl. Her name is Shoko Kasahara. And yep, I really like her. I admire her a lot. So I created a story on her behalf. So I wrote a novel about a Japanese girl traveling to Cebu, and she's the main character. And then I'm also a main character. So I'm a handsome Cebuano local. Trying to create a story with her, create a life with her. So basically, the story began when I give her a gift. And then when she opened the gift, she was shocked. It's a dog, particularly a pug.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
And it's me, right?
probably. So yep, and the story goes there. So we love the pug dearly, and then one day a pug got hit by a car, and then Yeah, it's really a tragic story, but it's full of lessons. So it will be published soon. So
So, what people should be looking forward to regarding the novel that you've been writing? So, basically, it's just like a Japanese girl
yeah,
came to
so
Cebu and then he met a handsome guy named Kurt,
correct.
and then the dog was hit by a car, and that's it?
There's actually a part to the story. So he got hit by the car in order to sacrifice himself for the greater good.
Uh huh.
Because the car was planning to go to a certain direction where there are kids crossing, and then the pug has to sacrifice himself so that those students or those kids will live.
Mm.
So he's actually a hero. It's like he's a new version of Hachiko, but not an Akita dog, but now it's a pug.
It's a
So
pug.
yeah, so even small things.
Can you describe to me what a pug looks like?
Well, it
'Cause
basically.
I'm not really into dogs. So.
Well, it's kinda looks like something like that. But yep. But not me, okay? I'm handsome. So pretty hard. So just look at the link below. Maybe
You know what, guys? You know what, Marco? I can sense a sense of narcissism here. Do you agree?
No, I'm just kidding.
You know, narcissism is like people who really love themselves.
I know it's not me.
They keep on boosting.
I was just kidding. It's a form of sarcasm, you
Well,
know.
to be honest, you're
I'm not that handsome compared to you guys.
so any timeline.
When it'll be published, it will be published November this year.
Are you sure this year?
Yep, grab a copy. So like and subscribe this show, and yep, I'm gonna send you a link of my novel.
And you're serious, right?
It's
November.
serious, November. Yeah.
Mm.
So just prepare your handkerchiefs and your tissue papers because you're surely gonna cry.
Well, that's something to look forward, man. That's really interesting.
How about you? Did you write a novel? You should
No,
write.
I'm not really a writer. I'm a frustrated writer. I used to write before, but every time I proofread my work, I just, cripple it, throw it away.
You should create another one.
I don't think so. I'm not a good storyteller. So, yeah.
Yeah, going back listening, this is the base some of the files that we have.
Oh,
We already have the main character Yumi Takitori. That's the main. If you can see, Kirk, this is we made this one.
I do.
Yeah.
Yep. I see
This
it.
here, and of course, this is the Kagoya. If you know the legend, like I said, we're history, so Kagoya, the legend of the bamboo tree princess, something like that. So we based that from there. Then here are some concepts of the setting, the Bitsu town. So you can see we gathers the internet. So these are the sound scenes. So we just tried our best to picture it out. See, so this is tons of data already. So we start, and of course here's our main characters. Oh no, sorry, this is not the one. So where's that? Here, Takitori.
so how long you been working on this
So
novel?
these are the main characters of our novel. So these are based on real life Japanese actresses.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, elder, middle sister. So this is we have Fujimina,
Pretty young
Eliza
ladies.
Akida, and Yumi, and of course Yuna Taira. As I know some of them you know. Yeah, already. So basically, this is our. So how do we classify? So what we do is determine their characteristics. Like for example, the main character they play the cello. Then this guy plays soccer, and of course we have a flower comparison, and just for trivia purposes. Then favorite food. It helps us when you write a story, what the character is. So basically that's it. And
Yeah, you're very organized, man.
and here are some of the scenes. Now you mentioned about anime. Here are some of the scenes that what do you call that inspired me to write about this one. So these are some of the scenes that I will never forget when I write the story. So you can see how they expand this. Sort by extra large icon. So these are some of the scenes, like as you can see, some this kid is waiting in a convenience store. So it's basically slice of life anime. Imagine there's a 7-Eleven in that town, train stations, fireworks. These are memories of the story. So we're basically writing the story. So some of these scenes will help me write the story effectively. So these are the inspiration. For example, if I'm writing about if they go out from school, so they drop by the train station. So when I see these pictures here, I will say, okay, this is the something that I want to be picture, what I want the readers to imagine. Then I compare that with the actual town of Yubitsu, which I shown you earlier. If there are scenes that are similar like this, so that's how it is. That's how we plan the story.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Because I read a few parts of your novel, the one you sent to me,
Yeah.
and I was really amazed because the way you describe the place, it's kind of vivid. Knowing the fact that you have never been there, it's very vivid. It's the way that you describe it. It appears that, or it seems that you've been there
Yeah, but like I
as
said,
a reader.
yeah.
From a reader's perspective.
Well, maybe probably because before we write, we really do a lot of research. But then again, it's really different when you really experience a place. In fact,
Yeah.
there was one actually. There was one story. It's actually the same part of the story, but it was based in Samarkand. It's a city in Central Asia. A story prior that we're making this one. We sent it to a famous American author. Actually, never. It's the author is Steve Barry. Steve Barry is a famous American author. He writes the books. I forgot the name. But it's a very famous American author. Then we emailed him. We sent him a copy or a page of our story about Samarkand. He responded, "Wow, it's fairly accurate." And he emailed to us, "Have you been to Samarkand?" And we said, "No, we haven't been to Samarkand because of course it's Central Asia, it's very far."
Yeah.
But and his comment is that the same as you, that it's really good that you've been to the place because the maps, the Google, even no matter how accurate or real time is it could only give you so much. So there are really specific details, especially if you're writing a story about a character. Like example, the setting is in some sort of Hokkaido high school.
Yeah.
Then what you can see is only what you're only limited to the maps, the location, and the pictures. But
what you see on the pictures, that's it.
that's it. But how about the classrooms? So basically, you have no idea. So it's more like it's left to your imagination. So it's not that accurate. So and since the story is really slice of life, it really tells the story of the character.
Yeah.
So in that particular aspect, you are somewhat limited, which I agree. Now, just to give you the backstory, if you're interested, what's the story all about? The story was inspired by one of the anime called Full Metal Panic. It's a year 2003 Japanese anime mecha thing. But the backstory is what I appreciated because it's historical fiction. Because in that storyline, the Cold War never ended. So the Soviet Union still exists, except that they have these giant mechas. But in our part, although we don't use these robots, but we got an idea. We make an alternative story based in Japan using the modern setting we have, 21st century. But what if we were thinking, because we're both historians, what if the Soviet Union never fell? What if Boris Yeltsin, the Russian president, was killed? So Russia was plunged into a civil war. Then Russia
It could have been a different story.
yeah. So in our story, Russia was divided. So we have a communist part of Russia. Then we have a more democratic Russia in the other side. So that's the geopolitical situation there. And the setup there, I was inspired by this anime called "The Days Were the Place Were Promised Days." It was written by a famous Japanese writer named Makoto Shinkai, who made the anime. The backdrop is that here's the story of two high school kids, students, with extraordinary abilities, which is the main character is Yumi Taketori. It was based by to a Japanese actress named Yuna Taira. She's like
I'm a big fan of her.
yeah, I know. You told me. Basically, this girl is like typical not very open with his classmates. And
Shall we say conservative?
not necessarily conservative.
Like,
How should I say? She's hiding something.
oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Secretive.
yeah, secretive. Yeah, but not knowing that if you really go visit in our wars already, it will lead you back to the ancient times of Japan. So based it on the legend of Kagoya, wherein the legend says that a bamboo cutter cut a bamboo, and there they found out there's
Something inside?
a child inside of bamboo. Then later this child grew up into become a very beautiful young woman. Then the emperor.
I think we have the same story here in the Philippines, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I think similar to what I'm not sure.
I forgot to. You know the story like
Yeah.
it's a cut the bamboo and there's
Yeah, so
there's a myth.
we have our own version of creation here in the Philippines.
No, it's
So-
not creation. It's a story there.
Yeah, it's a myth.
The Kagoya, the legend of Kagoya is wherein here's this bamboo cutter. It was based on a 10th century Japanese ancient legend or text. When they cut the bamboo, there's these two couples, old couples. They never had a child. So the legend says. When they cut the bamboo tree, they found out that there's this little child there, and they raised this child, and later became a very beautiful girl, which they lovingly care as if it's really their own daughter. Then later on, there were lots of suitors. One of them was the Emperor of Japan.
Emperor of Japan.
Yeah, so then the story goes is that then there are several suitors and everything, and Kagoya was sudden because one of the suitors who really fell in love with her died along the way when she told them, okay, if you could bring this, something like that, then I will marry you, but died, so she was heartbroken. Then the emperor heard about this one, also sought her hand for marriage, but she refused. And we later, according to legend, we later learned that Kagoya was sent here on our world, or in the mortal realm, because they say she's a goddess and there's a war in heaven, and she was sent here to away from the war and so
So
on.
it's same as with the Naruto, right? It's also
Yeah.
Kaguya, the alien that was dropped here.
Yeah, but
She was really pretty.
I'm not sure with the Naruto, but what I'm talking about is really based on actual Japanese myth and legends, which has already been established by historians. Although we cannot prove whether Kagoya exists, but that's the myth of it. So basically, when the time for her arrives, she will go to her home somewhere in the stars. Emperor waited for her in Mount Fuji, which is the highest point in Japan, waiting for her return, but she never came back. So that is the premise of Yumi, our character in the story. She's actually the reincarnation of Kagoya.
Kagoya.
And the funny thing is that the guy happens to be some sort of a guardian, but we're developing a lot of angles there because actually this idea came from one of our students who's really fan with this stuff. But I added the military and the geopolitical angle, which is really my forte. So imagine this one. It's like a small building Superman. Just a normal, they're enjoying their high school life somewhere in Hokkaido in Japan. They build up their relationships and the typical,
Typical.
what do you call that? Growing up, like they play soccer, they play, what students really do. But against all this backdrop, the guy doesn't know, or her classmates doesn't know that she has secrets. She shows her off her powers to help people, but it's really secret. But there are some people, there's an organization, a mysterious one, who is looking after her powers, is trying to get her power. And against all this backdrop, in the news flash will be integrated in the novel, is that there's a brewing war in Japan.
Boring war.
What do you mean boring war?
What did you say? What kind of war?
A brewing.
A brewing war. Okay.
Brewing
Sorry.
war, wherein the central theme is them, but they don't know the world around is about to collapse. The next thing they will know is that boom, the life that they used to have, the happy life, like spending time with their friends, classmates, stuff like that, teachers, family, it's gonna be all gone once this war is gonna blow up. So the last ending will probably their town's gonna get invaded by some by some country
Uh-huh.
which is an offshoot from the Soviet Union. Then boom, World War II kicks on. Then that's
Wow.
basically the premise of the story.
That's awesome.
So
That's
then-
magnificent.
Can you share the link?
Oh no, we don't have the link yet. It's still the most of the files is still in my laptop, but the main file is in our desktop computer, which I told you we're targeting to finish it. And
So
I'm
basically, how many people working on that particular story?
only two of us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the one is a friend editor of mine. So basically, he helps conceptualize, but for this particular book based on Fido, I will be the point man, but he will do the editing. But I am also thinking it will be more authentic from what we discuss.
Yes, yes. I would really encourage you to
Hiragana thing and katakana.
Yeah.
Although I cannot really make the whole novel into a Japanese one because
That's impossible for now.
Yeah, and it's largely English. But what we do, for example, the novel I'm trying to make is that when you read, it's like it reminds you of your high school life. For example, you're texting some girl or friend. So since it's Japanese, so the text would be I have to write it in hiragana or katakana. Then there's an English translation for those who can't understand what they're texting.
So that must be one of the reasons why you've been learning hiragana and katakana recently.
Yeah, one of the reasons. But of course, that reason is I have the one. But just consider it also.
It's just part of it.
Yeah, two birds with one stone. Writing the things that I want to write at the same time, learning the Japanese language. Yeah, because that's what they advised me from the Benfica event. That during your downtime, try to learn Japanese. By doing things that you want to do. So basically, that's the whole juice of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm really excited, to once it's published. You're planning to publish the book, right?
Yeah, I've talked to
What's the title?
the friend.
Yeah, the title. Good question.
The title of the novel, the trilogy, is usually Epsilon Chronicles. Epsilon, although it's not just final. It's chronicles because basically it's a series of stories between different characters.
Why Epsilon?
Epsilon because it's the organization in our story actually that is watching over these people who have these extraordinary abilities. So just think of it, if you're a fan with the Marvels, X-Men and mutants, imagine the concept is like that.
I'm a big fan of Powerpuff Girls.
You are?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
But the first novel would be Epsilon Chronicles, and the subtitle would be I'm thinking whether it's fading memories or broken memories because it's a series of flashback where the main character, the protagonist, is recalling their high school life. So it's like the present. Then once you start with the general story, it's just more of the recalls, but it really tells their life before all this shit happens, all the war, all this conflict happens. So that's why it's called. I'm thinking something to do with memories. So I'm thinking either fading memories or broken memories because it's like you're the protagonist. You're recalling of the things, the happy times before the war erupted. So you're recalling all those beautiful memories. It's broken in a sense. In the metaphor, it's broken because when the war happens, all the happy things in your life are gone by the wind. Your families get killed. Your friends are gone. So that's how it is. That's why it's broken. Or it could be fading memories because those things that you experience in your happy life, which is also what the character experiences, just fade away when the war erupted. And in the last part of the scene, we imagine that his parents are being executed, dragged out to the streets. So yeah, just think of the movies like the World War II movies like Schindler's List, something like that, where the Jews were being dragged out in their homes and
This
shot.
guy has a Jew.
Oh,
Yeah, Sephardic Jew.
Yeah. So basically, that's the motive of the story. Yeah. So the pages will probably be 300 to 400, but we're targeting 300 pages.
How many pages?
300.
300 pages.
That's a lot.
It's quite a lot.
Yeah.
So I can't
Well,
wait to get my hands on
From
it.
what he described about the story, I just want to ask your opinion. Which one do you think is the best? Fading memories. What was that again? Fading.
Or broken memories.
Broken memories or fading memories? What do you think is the best?
I think fading because
Fading.
memories fade. So I really like his concept about we should collect good memories because one day everything will be gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've learned a lesson now. That's why it made me reflect now. So let's collect.
So you
all
realize
good
something?
Memories. Yep. collect a lot of good
Okay,
memories.
Marco
Because
mentioned
one day
about
Marvel-
titles, the plot, and anything like that. The plan, when to
amazed.
publish.
That's no
publish.
ordinary person.
So what about you? What's the title of your novel? Because you didn't mention that. So I'm just wondering what the title is.
It's called. I have a lot of titles in mind, but let's just
What are
say,
those?
First is the pug who died. Next
Okay,
is that
okay.
a man's best friend. The next is little Hori.
What?
Little horny?
No, little Hori.
Hori.
Little Hori.
Okay.
Yeah, because the dog's name is Hori, and we call him Little Hori.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So it's
the reason, no?
Hori.
Well, actually, I reminded you, I included you in the novel because I was really partly inspired by your YouTube videos. But at least you're not a dog. I promoted you to a professor. You play a critical role with the main character.
So what you're trying to say now, the story is basically about the dog, not about the because it seems to me like it's weird because
That makes
there's
the
a Japanese
story
girl with
interesting.
Japan, and then they met a guy, and then the
So
title.
So what the guy
I'm confused, to be honest.
what the
Can you
guy
clarify?
he's so attracted to that girl to the point that
Mhm.
he summoned a dog to get the girl's attention and basically
This dog has magic
okay, I'm gonna reveal some part to you. So actually Hori is no ordinary pug. He's actually a supernatural pug.
Okay. What makes him supernatural? Does he fly or what? Does the dog fly?
Actually I had this Chinese bamboo tree and then I was cleaning it and then I opened it and then there the pug's there.
But man, reminds me, you mentioned about dogs and flowers. It reminds me of Super Dog.
I think your story is super funny.
It's over fun.
Yeah, it's super funny.
I was talking with Kirk before you came in. I told him, Kirk, I really look forward to see your novel or whatever you're writing if it still
Me too,
exists.
because he told me last year. I have been asking him, can you send me a copy?
Yeah, I told him.
He's been telling me that he's still working on it. For how long? So there's no time frame. There's no timeline.
Everything that's great takes time, you know.
Yeah, but you got to have a time frame because
Yes, man.
ours is really. Although we should have done this 5 years ago, but there are a lot of things happening on the way. But
Yes.
but for us, we have tons of data already. I don't know about you.
It'll be published
Just
this
stop
November.
goofing around.
It'll be published this November.
November.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you take note that
I'll take note.
Yeah. Are we gonna
So guys,
post something
remember,
here?
November, Kirk is going to publish his first ever novel.
And what's the title again?
Title is let me change the title.
Wow, that was fast.
Yes,
For us, it took us time to.
Yes. It's very smart.
Come together at Hori.
What?
Because
Okay, well, what's the spelling? Is it C-U-M or?
come just like that.
Take a look at that. Come together at Burger King. Oh my god.
Yeah, so
Together at Hori, I mean, must be horrible.
so I think podcast.
So can you invite the audience to buy your books, or
Yeah, you should buy it.
what should they expect from your book?
You're gonna expect a book that will teach them a lot of lessons, plus give them a lot of entertainment, and also that book, I can guarantee you, it's worth the money and it'll change lives.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Wow.
Is that for real or just?
That's correct. So I guess
Could I ask the file because I was thinking, I can get some
I
stuff.
can
in the
send
story.
some to you.
When would that be? I think you would send it tonight.
Not tonight because I still have to. I'm going to the beach and can't go.
Tonight,
home
you're
for-
gonna give me?
Yeah, night swimming. I think we should end the podcast now because it's already 45 minutes and yep.
Oh yeah, we've been.
But it really make the mark. It's National Geographic already.
Yeah. So
Anyway, guys. So yeah, we've been talking a lot, but basically, the topic is all about why we're studying Japanese. So yeah, Marco mentioned reasons why he's been studying Japanese and what inspires him to study a lot. Because yeah, he's been writing a novel, which settings is located in Japan, specifically in Hokkaido. And Kurt, right over here, just want to make a lot of Japanese friends, right?
That's one of it. But basically, the intention is to connect cultures.
Okay.
Yeah, connect cultures. Philippines needs to learn their culture, and then we need to learn our culture for a better future.
So he's proposing that to that girl also part of the culture?
What do you mean?
You proposed.
You proposed, right?
No, it's not me.
What's
Just
the name of that girl then?
never mind that. So end of podcast.
Marimar?
Monkey?
I'm gonna kill you.
No, it's monkey's face.
Mariko, right?
No,
Mariko, right? Mariko.
no.
So guys, to end this podcast, shall we say podcast?
Yeah, this is a podcast.
So since I'm gonna be leaving Cebu, so guys, what advice you can give to me? It's gonna be my first time to live and work abroad. So what are pieces of advice that you can give to me? I would really like to hear from my friends, especially you guys.
Thanks.
Starting with you, Marco.
Well, I know it's adapting to a new country. So I know you've been there, but being far away from family.
Yeah.
If you have problems, we're here. You can just message us Facebook. And
Thank you for that.
yeah, and yeah, just we're there. Try to explore there. Then yeah, more importantly, mind over heart.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Mind over heart.
Yes.
Yeah. So keep your hopes up. You can manage. No problem.
Thank you for the advice. What about you, Kurt?
Yeah, no, as for me, let me begin this quote from Origin of Species from Charles Darwin.
Uh-huh.
So it's not the strongest species, it's not the fittest that will survive, but someone who is adaptable to change. So my advice is that just adapt to whatever happens.
Yeah.
And-
Versatile and flexibility.
Yeah, flexibility. So, and cheers, long live.
It's
Banzai.
very nice of you, man.
Yep.
Yeah. So till then,
So,
matane.
guys, thank you very much and have a good day.
Johnny.
Gozaimasu.
Bye bye.
Johnny.
Arigatou gozaimasu.